Hey, what's up everybody? This is Hutch with Genuine Ludicrum logging in, and today is the official launch of a new news series that we're producing. In lieu of this, we've invited Dexerra to provide us a news-related item on a game of his choice for our very first episode. Check it out.
Hello guys, this is Dexerra, and today I'm here to bring you a gaming news video on the game Hearthstone. Now I'm bringing this news video on this game because it plays an incredibly important part of my life. I spend a lot of time on this game and it's just incredibly fun to play. Now this video is also brought to you by Genuine Ludicrum, who gave me the idea to make this video and will be uploaded to their channel as well. Now we're going to go over the cards that are coming in the new expansion, Whispers of the Old Gods. Now I see an incredible amount of potential in this expansion, and to be honest I just feel it's going to be great and change a lot of decks for the better or some for the worse. Now let's just get a rundown of the cards and what they do. So the Beckoner of Evil. This is a 2 mana 2/3 which fits in perfectly with the mana curve, and its battle cry, give your Sathun +2/+2 wherever it is. So basically you play this card, and no matter where this Sathun is, say you've played it already, it dies, this is still going to give it a +2/+2, even though it's completely dead and negating it. But if you manage to get a card that will revive it, then you've got a 8/8 Sathun. But with Sathun giving this plus attack is incredibly useful to its battle cry, which is deal damage equal to this minion's attack randomly split across all enemies. Which basically means you play this minion on a board, it's got like 4 minions and a hero. Well, obviously it's going to have a hero. So like this would do like, say, 1 damage to all the minions and 2 damage to the hero. This is completely random and just completely set out by the card. So you just play this minion, it's going to do more attack than just a 6 damage. Whereas if you give it +2/+2, it's going to do 8 damage across the board instead of just 2. Making this card much more worth the 10 mana. And, you know, just giving it a better effect. So now we're going to move on to the Corrupted Heal Bot, which has been corrupted by an old god and giving it all the tentacle effect and stuff like that. Now this minion is a 5 mana 6/6, which is amazing stats for a 5 mana minion, but if you've got stats like that, it's usually going to come at a large cost. Now this has a death rattle, restore 8 health to the enemy hero, which is incredibly drastic if you're summoning this as a last resort. Say like you've just knocked them down to say 12 HP, you're summoning this to, you know, battle them down a little bit, get them done in 2 turns. But then they kill it. You've just given them an extra 8 health and you've wasted 5 mana. Now I can see this being used in specific decks such as a control deck, where you've not really done much damage to the hero but you're just trying to get board control for that inevitable face punch, or whatever you want to call that. Now when you summon this minion, it's going to be a win-win scenario in some cases. You play this minion, they've already got 30 health, say you've done a double innovate, you've got a 5 mana 6/6 on the first turn. How are they going to kill that? No idea. Potentially even making you win the game. So that's the Corrupted Heal Bot. Next we're going to move on to one of the most useless cards in this expansion, I feel. Unless more cards in the future to be revealed that have some sort of connection to this card, I feel this is going to be one of the incredibly crap cards of the expansion, with the Polluted Hoarder being a 4 mana 4/2, which by itself is just incredibly crap stat. Like, you do not want to play this. I mean, even though its Death Rattle is draw a card, that would still, like, I'd play this if it was a 2 mana card. Like the Loot Hoarder, which is a 1/2 battle cry draw a card. So you know that you're going to get that card straight away. But when you summon this card, there's so many ways it could be destroyed. Like 2 mana or 1 mana to summon a 2/1 creature, bam, this is dead. And you're not going to attack that 2/1 creature because this is going to die in itself. I just basically don't see any effect in using this card at all, and I don't see it being run in any decks unless a card is revealed that would make it more useful. Now next we're going to move on to the Twilight Elder, which is another Sathun effect, which is at the end of your turn, give your Sathun +1/+1 wherever it is. So say you've got one innovator at the start of your turn as a druid. I know I'm saying innovator a lot, assuming that everybody plays druid now, but you know, it's quite a popular deck, so I'm just going to use that as an example. So you innovate this as turn 1. You got a 3 mana, 3/4, which just like the Beckoner of Evil fits with the mana curve. Even if you don't have a Sithon in your deck, there's no reason that you shouldn't play this. Now, giving it +1/+1 wherever it is, say it survives for a few turns, you've managed to pump this up to say like a 9/9 Sithon, which 10 mana 9/9 with its battle cry is definitely worth a 10 mana instead of just a 6/6, which is, I'd say it's worth more like an 8 mana, but because of the cards that utilises this minion's ability, making it much more useful inside of a control deck. So far with these cards, I see a lot of control with the Sithon and the Corrupted Healbot, no less with the Polluted Hoarder. But yeah, Twilight Order is just basically a different version of the Beckoner of Evil, stronger in ways and less strong in not, because with this one you're guaranteed a +2/+2 on your Sithon. But with this one, if it gets killed, it's not going to get any buffs. But still, with it being a 3/4 for 3, there's no reason to not playing it. It's like the Chill Wind Yeti of the 3 mana pool. So last card we're going to move on to is the Validated Doomsayer. This guy knew it was all going to end at some point. Now this Doomsayer, instead of its normal ability for 2 mana 0/7, and at the end of its turn it would normally just destroy the whole board regardless of whether your minions are on it or theirs. And the Doomsayer, this time, at the beginning of every turn, instead of the end of every turn, well, it would technically be the end of only one turn because, yeah, it would die. But at the start of every single turn, its attack will be reset to 7. So say someone tries to use, say we've got a Paladin. He's just gonna make this minion have one attack. Well, next turn, that it's gonna be completely negated, it's gonna have 7 attack again. But it also comes with the downside of if you try to buff this, then you've screwed over because the buff's just gonna be negated the next turn, unless you're gonna try getting some damage. Say you've got a Rock Biter Totem, and boom, you just killed him. But again, if you're playing I forgot the name. If you just use 2 innovates and you manage to get this out on turn 1, then you've just got 7/7 for free basically at the beginning of the game. Like, because if you're gonna double innovate, like, there's no reason you shouldn't, because you've just basically got yourself a 7/7. Well, like, a 7/7 normally would just cost like 7. And it's just I feel this card can be used a lot. Again, in control decks, being able to take down the minions that are summoned, especially if you summon this early game, they're going to be scared to summon the higher cost minions because this is going to be easily tradable with them, making this an incredibly useful card in this new expansion. And I can't wait to see what decks utilize this along with all the other cards except from this guy, because let's face it, it's incredibly useless. I mean, he's got a really, really cool picture with the tentacle eye effect thing. I just think that this expansion adds a lot of variations to the art style of the cards, just making these just incredibly. They just look incredibly cool and just fun to play at some points. Like, I'm just tempted to get this card at some point just because of the way it looks. It just looks that cool. And especially with the Validated Doomsayer, like, he just looks really, really, really cool. But with Sithon, he will definitely see play. I feel that he will definitely see play. Not so much with other legendaries that have been released, like the one that. I need to freshen up my Hearthstone knowledge here. But regardless, let's just not go over that. So basically, with this expansion, I just see a lot of power and a lot of negated effects, because with a silence this is completely negated, with a silence this is negated, and it's just, I can't really put this expansion into words. I'm just so hyped for it and I can't wait for it to come out.